Hey, my beautiful babes of every single phenotype and every single shade. So, I just want to come on here really quickly because if you've been keeping up with my community tab, you see that there are going to be some changes to this page. So I will be frank and say that yes, I am changing the name to of this page. YouTube said I have 12 more days that I have to wait to change it, so I'll change it. And once I change it to something more suitable, of course, I'll announce it. But so honestly, the name change is because, like, while I do have a lot of supporters from both the unambiguous community, unambiguous dark skin community, and the mixed race or the exotical community, rather, like, even though I definitely have support and people have shown me love, it's come to my attention that, like, the overall consensus is that by me as an unambiguous dark skinned woman, by me referring to myself as exotic or exotical, that it makes me and girls who look like me, it makes us look mentally ill, and it makes it looks like we're trying to ride off the coattails of mixed and light-skinned women. So yeah, that I mean, I can just go on and on about how, like, that is a poor reflection on me. But I mean, I think that that point is like pretty straightforward. But I will say that, so I guess, like, what I can start is, okay, why did I, as an unambiguous dark skinned woman, why did I, have the nerve to, or just randomly started, calling referring to myself as exotical and exotical. And there are several reasons, but I feel like the main one is, like, one, when it comes to the conversation of, like, pretty privilege, then privilege, like, all the privileges, obviously, except for the isms like colorism, texturism, futurism. Like, I mean, despite of me being, like, very pretty, like, considered very, very pretty, I don't I don't benefit from any of the isms. But yeah, so, like, I've listened to a lot of exotical channels and I felt that, like, oh wow, we have a lot of things in common. So I was like, okay, like, why don't we just expand this term? But yeah, just getting straight into it. Honestly, I didn't really like the war between, the black woman in power space versus the exotical space. I've heard, like, on both sides, like, there's, like, a lot of name calling and a lot of insults are being hurled, and that's happening for whatever reason. But I noticed that, like, a lot, and I was thinking, like, well, you know I'm fully black, you're, part black, or or you're a mixed black person. Why are we not getting along? And that's another thing that motivated me, was that if you, like, think about it, that's like unambiguous dark skinned women beefing with mixed and light skinned women and vice versa. That within itself is upholding white supremacy, because you got to remember, like, when we all came here on a boat, off the boat, and during the time of slavery, that's what racism, that's the first thing racism targeted, was our phenotype, right? Like, all the dark skinned people are in this corner, all the light skinned people are in that corner. So yeah, like, to me, in my personal opinion, that's why I'm like, okay, like, why don't we just be allies, because honestly, our real enemy is racism. So, but I get it that, the term exotica is, it was created for light skin and mixed women. I understand that its original term was not a positive one. And mixed and light skinned women decided to make it like they decided to make it positive for themselves, and that's fine, that's okay, because I mean, we took the word nigga and we made it well, kind of positive word for ourselves, but that's another that's another topic. But anyway, I mean, and like the biggest thing, like the one comment that really hit me is that um you know some of the mixed and light skinned women, and they were respectfully saying that they're not really feeling this whole co-opt of unambiguous dark skinned women, kind of like co-opting the exotical experience with them. And they have their reasons, and they have good reasons, and they're not like disrespectful reasons. And well, I mean, what I experienced. But yeah, I mean, so like, I'm just gonna go straight into the ice cream. The ice cream. I have an ice cream analogy. So the ice cream analogy I'm referring to. So do you all know what like I think it's called Neapolitan or Neapolitan ice cream? Like, when you open, like, there's an ice cream that it has like chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry in it, like all at once. I think it's called like what, Neapolitan or something. Um, and then so you have your Neapolitan ice cream, and you have your chocolate ice cream. So chocolate ice cream represents unambiguous dark skinned woman, and the Neapolitan represents like light skin and mixed woman. And I was thinking, like, you know what, like, while the Neapolitan has chocolate in it, like, the ice cream, both of the ice creams are different. Like they taste different. It's like it's a different experience. It is. So it's like, now I see that maybe I look kind of silly, you know, trying to take a word that should be exclusively for mixed and light skinned women, and trying to expand it to include unambiguous dark skinned women, even though, like, I really truly was coming from a genuine place. And I still am. I'm coming from a genuine place of, because Black people, we're all like, as a whole, like, including mixed, like, we're already like divided up, and there's been, like, ever since we've been slaves, there's always been this huge war between like dark skin and light skin, and it always broke my heart, and I always wanted to be like that one person who wanted to like bridge the gap between the two communities, like especially between very pretty mixed and light skinned women who experience pretty privilege and very, very pretty unambiguous dark skinned woman. Because again, like, with the exception of the phenotype and benefiting from the isms, and like hair texture and stuff, it's like, when you're pretty and you're a person of color, it's like it's a different experience. So that's one thing. And I just wanted to also mention that in my experience, like, honestly, ever since I was a kid, like, no one no one thinks I'm American. So I was born and raised in America, like, straight. I haven't even left the country yet. but yeah, I was born and raised in America, and I've always gotten like, oh my gosh, like, are you Jamaican, are you Nigerian, are you Caribbean? Like, one time I even got Dominican. Like, like, in the place that I used to live, like, literally, like, people from, like, I trust me, like, my avatar, like that is my 100% phenotype. I am 4C hair. I am Normani. Normani is my skin tone twin, all the works, broad nose, all that. But yeah, like I literally had like Dominicans like walk up to me and like start speaking Spanish, and I don't have any Spanish skills. Um my language skills are in Mandarin and Gaelic, you know but yeah, like I had them like walk up to me and start speaking in Spanish, and I'm all like, I have to say, no espanol, like, because they're, I don't know, I guess they're like, they mistaken me for an like an African Dominican or Afro Latina, I don't know. But either way, yeah, so that's another reason why, like, I was like, oh, okay, like, I do have, even though I'm unambiguous and dark skin, like, I do have that exotic experience. Um, I've spent a lot of time in, the East Asian community. I mean, come on, I go to an East Asian church. I go to service in whole Mandarin, like literally. So like the multicultural world aspect of it, like there was just like a lot of dots that I connected between unambiguous dark skinned girls and mixed in light skinned women. So, but with the comments of like, you know, if a girl who looked like Lupita Nyong'o started calling herself exotical, she would look mentally ill, or you'd cringe, or she'd be, you think, yeah, like I'm like stuttering. I'm sorry. Um, you think that she'd be mentally ill, um, and things of like, okay, it just seems like we're trying to ride the coattails, and it seems like unambiguous dark skinned women, when they refer to themselves as exoticals, it seems like we're trying to take something away from mixed and light skinned women, or we're trying to like drag them to our level, or whatever. But you know what I mean. So yeah, so I understand that, and I respect that. And I will say that despite of me changing my channel name, it, like, the rules still apply. This is a Black woman empowerment space, and this is an empowerment channel for girls that look like me, who are unambiguous and dark skinned. And again, like, this is not a place where we are bashing light skinned, and, well, I guess I can call them exoticals now since I'm not that anymore. But this is not a place where we bash exoticals, because they have nothing to do with our glow up. I mean, unambiguous girls, like, we all know we experience hate from every angle. We could experience hate from exoticals, from whites, other unambiguous dark skins. Like, it can, like, hate comes from anywhere. So it's not just like this one group that just totally hates us and is just attacking us. So, or at least that's how I feel, and that's my experience. But yeah, so yeah, I want to make it abundantly clear that, despite of me changing the name and, continuing on my focus of uplifting unambiguous dark skinned women, um, where this is not the place to bash exotical women at all, because I still totally support them. I mean, I have no beef with them. There's no reason for me to have a beef with them. I mean, another reason why I can't really beef with them, I mean, I wear bundles on a daily basis, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, unambiguous dark skinned women do not have to be bald and chained to our 4C hair. But that within that itself is just going to be in another video, like a video within itself. But yeah, I just wanted to come on here and, just tell you guys like what's up. And, you know, yeah, what's up and the new direction of this channel. I would love for all my exoticals who are subscribed to me to continue to be subscribed to me because I love y'all. And I mean, honest to God, like I follow, obviously I follow Exoticals United, Pretty in Between, Exotical Sauce. I think there's another one called like Exotical Brown Skin or something like that. But honestly, like I look at their channels and there's so much that like I learned even as an unambiguous dark skinned woman, even though they're not specifically talking to me. There's a there's a lot of things that I learned, and I definitely want to stick around with that community, and I love if that community would stick around with me. But yeah, I mean, if you want to think about this space more so as like, you know yeah, just this is just a space where, okay, yeah, it's focused on unambiguous dark skinned women, it's uplifting unambiguous dark skinned women, but we're cool with everybody. Like, not it's not even just the exoticals. Like this channel, like we're not gonna bash Asians, we're not gonna bash whites, we're not gonna bash Hispanics. Like, this is not a race bashing channel. This channel is strictly just to uplift unambiguous dark skinned woman. And for me, like as an unambiguous dark skinned woman who experiences, like who is very 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 pretty privileged, like I just want to share my my glow up tips with girls who look like me. And then I want to also help those who are already on my level, to for them to like maintain their pretty privilege, or whatever privileges that they have, thin privilege, whatever. I That's what this page is ultimately for. And again, I would love for exoticals and whites, Asians, Hispanics to stick around, because I love receiving feedback from the other sides. Like, look at yourself from another person's point of view. You know what I mean? Everyone's obviously not right, but that's how you learn and grow, is through constructive criticism. But it's not even just constructive criticism, even just them like even just them just saying like, oh, I agree, I think dark skinned women look better, or yeah, dark skinned unambiguous women are prettier when they have one tongue lip, like when their upper lip and their bottom lip is the same, like, you know what I mean? So that's why I welcome like people of other races, ethnicities, phenotypes, admixtures, all that to this page, because yeah, I just said it, but but yeah, y'all. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. That's just my thoughts on it. So just I don't know if I'll still make content between now and the 12 days that I have to wait to change the name. But I'm still here, and the message still stands. I'm still cool with exoticals. Y'all are cool. I have no issues with you guys. I just want my community of girls to feel good, and I want my community of girls to just have their own pedestal. You guys definitely deserve your pedestal, but we need ours as well. So yeah, and then also, like, I don't, as a Capricorn girl born to a Virgo mom, perception is like really really like important to me. So I don't like being delusional. I don't like looking like I'm riding someone's coattails. I don't like looking as if I'm like mentally ill or or crazy, because like if you think about it, that does look crazy. Like if I'm sitting here as an unambiguous dark skinned woman and I'm saying like, oh, I look like Beyonce. Oh, no matter how many blonde weaves and hazel contacts like I put in, if I'm sitting here saying, and even if I bleached my skin, if I'm sitting here saying like, oh my gosh, I look like Beyonce, I look like Beyonce, like no, babe, like you, like naturally, like unless I go out and get extensive cosmetic surgery. I do not have the same phenotype as Beyonce. Beautiful woman, but like I don't have her phenotype. My phenotype is Normani, Lupita Nyong'o, Tika Sumpter, Kelly Rowland, all those. And speaking of Kelly Rowland, one thing I do learn from Kelly Rowland is that you know you period, no matter what, it's like you want to have your own pedestal. And kind of, to me, I'm not bashing because I love Kelly, that's my babe, but like to me she kind of like gave up in a sense, and kind of like she kind of reclused herself out of the spotlight. And I don't want that to happen to other unambiguous dark skinned women. Like it's not a competition. That's another thing. We're not competing with exoticals or other races of women. It's not a competition. It's literally just us just building ourselves up with what we have, creating our own pedestal, creating our own names and lane for herself. So think about us as like, I don't know, like Flo Millie. You know what I mean? Like a Flo Millie, oh Millie, Flo Millie, JT from City Girls. She's Asia Brat, yeah. So just dark skinned, unambiguous women who are beautiful, who are bad, and they just hold their own, no matter where they're at. So yeah, I mean, so I blabbed enough, and so yeah, let me know what you think. Leave your comments down below. I love to hear them. Please be nice to me. Please be respectful, because I promise you, this was just I meant totally well, but yeah. So yeah, let me know what you think, and let's start the conversation. And yeah, if you want to return back in around like 12 days and see the new name, yeah, that's gonna happen. But yeah, I love you all, and I will see you in the next video. Smooches.